How was Colombia though? I hear a lot about Colombia though.
Colombia is cool. I'm gonna be honest with you, and then people gonna like, oh, I'm hating or whatever. I never really liked Colombia like that. I never really liked it like that. To me, I mean, I spent time in Bogota. Medellin is nice. I spent a lot of time in Bogota, but it was like an airy type of feel. And I was going to Colombia before they was drugging everybody. I was before the drugs. They was drugging it. When I hear about that, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I was there. I've never experienced like a bad time in Colombia like that. I've never experienced a bad time in Colombia. Colombia is cool, man. It's cool. It's a cool vibe, man. It's a lot of bars, a lot of drinking, a lot of females, a lot of tourist attractions and stuff like that. Like I said, I never really liked Colombia like that. I never really liked Colombia. Like, I don't know, just certain countries you fit in, other countries you don't fit in.
Would you think too, like, because it's a language barrier too, like, because going to like places that you don't speak English and stuff, it kind of be like difficult to engage and stuff like.
Yeah, that have something to do with it, but I speak a little bit of Spanish. I'm not no expert in it, but I can, understand it and speak it a little bit. So I can, I have some leeway there, but I don't know. It never was a place that I wanted to live. I don't know why. I can't put my hands on it. And like I said, this was before they was drugging everybody and all the problems was going on. I went there because I am with a YouTuber. He was there before Ace went there. So it was at that time a lot of YouTubers was going there. So I was like, this is the rite of passage for me to go to Colombia. That's why I went.
Exactly, gotcha. Yeah. So have you ever been scammed or robbed in any one of these countries you've been to?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got scammed. I got robbed recently in Vietnam.
Give us a little breakdown on it. Safety first. I want to know this stuff.
Yeah, I'm partying. Sort of was my fault too. I'm partying the night before. Real hard with some people in the hostel. And in the morning, I try to pride myself with like editing 2 or 3 videos a day. So I was like, look, I'm feeling a little woozy. Let me get up, take a shower, and go to this coffee shop right across the street from where I stay. It's in the alleyway where the hostel's at. I go there. I just wasn't on my A game. So I got like a laptop bag. So I put a camera, my Osmo in there. I put a laptop in there, and I put my phone in there. And it's packed. It's packed this morning. It's like a Friday morning. It's packed. I go in there. There's no seats. It's like these 2 Vietnamese chicks sitting at a table. It's like 2 extra seats there on both sides. So I asked them, can I sit with them? They said, yeah, no problem. I sit down. I lay my laptop like on the side where I'm at or whatever. And another guy comes and does the same thing. Can he sit at the table? Because it's no space. So he sits there too. We all eating. Anybody that know about Vietnam, they know how people eat on top of each other. Army guy in the comment section, he can tell you about Vietnam. I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't at 100%, and the guy took my bag, my little laptop bag. So that was about $3,000-$4,000 gone.
Whew.
Yeah. So, and he was African. He was African from Algeria. I made a big deal. They looked at the cameras. It was like a blind spot where he was at, so they couldn't see him taking it. They seen me come in with the laptop, but they didn't see him taking it. And then he had like a bag, so he must have stuffed it in the bag while I was talking to these pretty Vietnamese chicks and wasn't paying attention. And then I was half woozy. It was more that I was not at 100%. What I should have did was took the day off and just laid in the bed and got myself together. But I'll be like trying to be on a time crunch when I'm pushing my videos out. Right, and that's basically what happened. But they found the guy, but we couldn't prove it. They went to his hotel. They raided his hotel, the police, everything. We couldn't find nothing, man. But they know he took it. But we couldn't prove it. So I had to chalk that one up. That was like a $4,000 hit.
And that was in Singapore?
No, that wasn't Singapore. That was in Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah. Dang.
Yeah, they ain't going to steal nothing in Singapore. Them people in Singapore got money. They ain't going to steal. There ain't too much going to happen to you in Singapore. That's a wealthy country.
So have you ever been locked up or detained, had any kind of mishaps in any countries? Like,
yes, I have, man. When you travel as much as I do, you're gonna run into these problems. Man, one time I was in Brazil, and Fortaleza, Brazil. I was there at this time. I'm still trying to get my little contract to go to work up in Alaska. So one of the companies had called me for something. I had to like take a drug test or something. So I had to fly out of Brazil back to the States to take the drug test. And then I take the drug test. I do whatever I have to do for the job. And they tell me, they're going to give me like a week or 2 and they'll let me know if I pass a drug test for the job. So I was like, man, let me not waste no time. Let me go back down to Brazil, get some more content. I'm in Miami. I fly from Miami back down to Brazil. The day that I fly to go back to Brazil is the day that they had stopped with the visa. Like if you was American citizen or Canadian citizen, you didn't need a visa to go to Brazil for a couple years, because of a certain president was in. When we had a certain president and we was all right. And then when another president came in, they switched it back. So I'm flying on that day to go back to Brazil, and they turned me back around because I didn't have the visa. And in my mind, I thought they could fix the problem right there, like in Brazil, but they sent me back. So they detained me, and then they put me on the next flight back to the States and the next morning.
Man, goodness. I was watching your channel too, though. I seen you had a wreck in the Dominican Republic. And how did that happen? Like, I didn't get.
You said what?
You had a wreck in the Dominican Republic. You was in the car wreck.
Oh yeah, man. Just this stupid stuff. We rented these AGVs, and we partying, we drinking and stuff like that. And I know better, man. I know better. And then I went against I should have went against, how when you know better about something, you're supposed to do the right thing. And I just got the peer pressure was like, yo, let's just take the bikes. And it was raining. And they just wanted to take the bikes, the guys I was hanging with, they just wanted to take the bikes so they could show off at the little bars and the clubs, moving around. And it was like, it wasn't raining, but it just finished raining, so the roads were kind of slippery and stuff like that. And I ended up taking the AGV, and then it just spun out of control on my way from Cabarete to Sosua, man. I could have died off of that, man. I regret that thing, man. That was not a smart decision. That wasn't a smart decision.
Did they make you pay for it? Did they make you pay for it?
Oh, yeah, bro.
Was it sure?
$1,000.
That's cheap. That's cheap right there, man.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be more.
Bad, but if you ain't got it, that's expensive.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be more. It was $1,000. But when you had your money budgeted out for these trips, and you're like, damn, I just spent $1,000. But that was my fault. $1,000.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie.
Yeah, and it had minor damages. It was still rideable, but it was banged up. It was banged up because me and my buddy had to jump off of it, and we rolling down the highway. And it was just by God's grace.
I seen the short you did on it. That was like, goodness, that was ugly.
Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. My leg was jacked up for like 3 or 4 weeks, man. It was messed up. I thought it was broke, but it was just fractured. So I just had to sit in my boy's crib, like in the DR. Oh, it was just horrible, man.
All right,
just not making the right decisions. Just not making the right decision that night.
Exactly. I'm gonna get into some YouTube questions and stuff like it for you. So, like, how has YouTube changed your life and stuff like I mentioned? You said you started living off the YouTube. Like, I ain't trying to be like academic and pocket watch, but like, what was their first check? I'm trying to get monetized. Like, was it worth it?
The first check from YouTube was only like $200. Remember, I still had like 20 grand I was playing around with, so it didn't really matter to me. That was my first check. I got that like November. I think that was November 2019 was my first YouTube check that I got paid for. It was like $250, something like that.
So what was the biggest one you got? Did you just like, all right, I can take this for real?
Like 8,000 one month, like 7,000 some change. That's off of ad revenue. But people Cash App you, they not super chat you, they PayPal you. It's other stuff that I never add up that comes in with it too. But from AdSense, like around 8,000, a little under 8,000.
So there was a viral video that hit. Which viral video that got you there?
At that time, I was in El Salvador. Something in El Salvador hit.
Yeah.
And then I got a bunch of checks for like 5,000, 6,000 consistently for a long time. To the point it spoiled me. Like it was like mandatory. Like no matter what I would do, it would be like $5,000, $6,000, like for the month. No matter what I would do, because the videos will overlap each other. Like so, I have a viral and then that viral, then that, like, it would help me.
So speaking of YouTube, have you ever had any beef with YouTubers? Like, I know the answer to these. I'm just spicing it up, you know.
I mean, it's I ain't gonna say the guy's name. It's a guy that rubbed me wrong in Patia, because he does videos with all the YouTubers, and then he was talking some trash about me, and it got back to me. Like, the people actually physically called me up and told me, like, yo, he was at our night spot, and Pattaya talking trash about me. I'm trying to think of anybody else. If I had any beef, I can't. I'll be focused. If you tell me, I can tell you. If you say somebody, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, man.
If you say the name, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get it too spicy, man. It's just one of those pop-up questions I had, because, you know, like, I read the comments, I'm leading up to different stuff, though. Like, when I be reading it, based on how you respond, you know, I'm leading up to different stuff.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, man. That's a good question. Man. Let me think, man. I'm pretty cool with a lot of
your names be ringing bells and a lot of stuff. I'm like, before I even knew, I'm like, who is Philly Dom, man? Like, before I even knew you know how these YouTube stuff go. I'm like, man, who is Philly Dom? Like, everybody talks about Philly Dom, man. Like, and then another thing that popped up, you did a migrant crisis. That was a great video, man. Like, how did you come about that? Like, what made you think of that idea? That was great content right there.
I just be thinking out of the box, and what I do, I really listen to people around me. There's a YouTuber in New York by the name of Big Hawk. He had brought it up to me. He didn't bring it up to me, but he brought it up to me. I don't know how could I say this? He was talking about it. Like, I was interviewing him. He was like, yeah, we got a lot of problems right now in New York with the migrant crisis. And then I'm staying in New York. I got a place in New York, in Queens, and I'm like, it stuck in my head. And then one of my boys in Philly called me up, and he was like, yo, you ever think about doing videos on the migrant crisis? He said, because we from Philly, so we do a lot of videos on you know about Kensington, with the drug problem that we have in Philadelphia.
Right.
You heard about that.
I heard.
Yeah. So when a guy from Philly told me, like, yo, he was like, man, you should do something on the migrant crisis. And then I was like, well, what should I do? He was like, you'll figure it out. And then I thought about Kensington, how I did a whole bunch of videos. So I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to just start going to the different, the shelters where the shelters and the hotels where they have the migrants at. And then it went out of control. Them videos went viral. They did me good, man. 2024 was a good year.
I know. I was watching them. That was good videos, man. Like, you actually broke down what's really going on, like, in America. See, what I do, like, when I'm not a news guy, because it'd be like propaganda. So, like, when you seeing you boots on the ground showing what's really going on with this stuff, like, hey, they living in these places right here, and you interviewing these people, and you linked up with Ace again. Now, you know, y'all just doing all kind of stuff. Like, that was very dope content. It's created, though.
Back into the channel, the rhythm is true. Hit the screen, join the flight.
Come along for the ride through the night.